Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Ahud. That's Hero Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sections of time. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Shalom. And this lesson is entitled, Anything Can Happen 2025. Anything can happen 2025. All right. And this is based off of the article, President on if the United States will enter into a recession. Anything can happen. And that was the response ultimately. And we know that a recession, lo, it will come. A collapse, lo, it will come. In an ultimate desolate wasteland, all right, on all aspects of life, whether it be economically, financially, socially, all right, all those things are going to be made desolate here in the 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance and the destruction and judgment of Esau, Edom. When we're seeing the society being dissolved, we're seeing it being broken down, and not only are the people saying it, but the rulers of this society are reflecting that this society is headed towards an end. So it says the president weighed in on whether the United States will enter into a recession, saying during an interview that anything can happen and anything will happen, and it's not just financially, all right, it's not just economically, Salakia, but socially, politically, nuclear, all levels. What you think won't happen will happen. All right, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Okay, so it says, but argue the country's economic state will be okay in the long term. So let's go to the scriptures. Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and we're in that time right now, and the keepers of the house are going into the economy. These economists, okay, they're trembling. The keepers of this house, America, okay, all the way up to the top of them, the international banking families, they're trembling because their cash cow, America, all right, has ran short. Okay, it's now expendable, which it always was, but during the fullness of the dispensation of times, all right, America had to be taken down through gradualism of prophecy. All right, so it says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and the grinders are the workers, the laborers, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. You see, bad, troublesome times ahead. Okay, that's what's ultimately gonna befall upon America, and not only are the people saying it, but you have the top ruler of the country saying that anything can happen, but then alluding and also saying, oh, it's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be okay. All right, the scriptures say this. This is Sirach chapter 12, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So that sweet speech that America is so used to, and beguiling the people, presenting an illusion of freedom, democracy, you can be who you want to be here, but all the while transgressing against the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and being known as that great place of transgression throughout the planet Earth, man, which is America. Bitter, marah, a nightmare. Truly it is, man. But you have those that are set up over the people to allude to the society's end. So that just shows you that they're not even speaking on their own accord. I'm going to come back to this one. This is Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. You see? So Who's the modern day kings? Nero, Trump, Jeff Bezos, Kikius, Elon Musk, Maximus, all the way up to the top of them, the international banking families, the rulers of the earth, all the way down to the least of them, okay? Whether you be a righteous player or whether you be a wicked player, all of those things and positions are controlled by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turn it whatsoever he will. So these statements that these leaders are making, all right, it's coming from the Lord. Proverbs 16 says the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. So if you have a leader that rises up and says, I'm going to liberate the people, that's the Lord speaking through that leader. If you have a leader that rises up and says, the people are going into slavery, that's the Lord speaking through that person, man. And the scriptures say, shall evil be done in the city and the Lord had not done it? It says, Proverbs 16:1, the preparations of the heart and man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. So this statement was from the Lord. Anything can happen. But argued the country's economic state will be okay in the long term. All right. So let's get this word real quick. Recession. It says a recession is a significant and widespread decline in economic activity that lasts for more than a few months. And it says a widespread decline in economic activity. Notice that word economy keeps coming up. Economic. All right. It said in Ecclesiastes that the keepers of the house are going to tremble. And that's what it's going into. Okay? A recession is what makes the economists tremble. A recession is what makes these top international bankers shake in their boots. But it's all according to prophecy. Revelation 18 says the merchants of the earth who wax rich through the delicacies of those imports and exports and trade agreements with America. Now all those things are being severed. Now you see these nations, they're gearing up and they're making their own currency, the BRICS nations. And it's going to escalate to nuclear. It says that lasts for more than a few months. And we know ultimately, all right, Babylon would have been healed. Heal her, if so she may be healed. And that's in all aspects. This place is going to be taken down economically, socially, all right, religiously, education-wise, all right. Everything is watered down here in Babylon. The food, all right. Everything is being cut short. It's a shortage on everything, all right. Like the scriptures say, the city of confusion is broken down. There's a cry for wine in the streets. Joy is darkened. Let me get that real quick, because that's what's happening to Babylon the Great, man. In every single way. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 10. It says, the city of confusion is broken down. And what is that city of confusion? That's talking about Babylon the Great, America. All right. That city is broken down. All right. And what is it broken down ultimately to? To desolation. Nuclear fire is the ultimate result in the ending judgment for Babylon the Great. But before that takes place, what's going to ultimately happen? You're going to have these different economic calamities, social calamities, religious calamities, all right? Food shortages, famines, pestilences, all right? Diseases are going to be breaking loose. All within the gates of Babylon the Great, man, America. They're going to be happening here. So get ready for them, man. All right? Because this is already a faithless society, man. All right? They don't believe in the judgments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They don't want to take heed to Yahweh Shem Yahushua's men that are out on the highways and byways. Okay? So guess what? Then shall they know it, like the scriptures say, death by pain. That's what's going to come to this society. And it's going to get physical, but there's pains that are growing on this society via prophecy. That's why these different events are taking place in the society. All right, recessions, inflation. Let's read a little bit more. It says, a recession is a period of decline in economic activity that is both significant and widespread. It says, key indicators that decline during a recession include GDP, employment, real income, industrial production, and consumer spending. You see, and that's all the things that have taken hold of Babylon the Great. And I got this other definition: economic teeter-tottering. All right, it says economics, teeter-tottering or seesawing refers to a cyclical pattern where one economic variable, like inflation or interest rates, rises, causing a reaction that pushes another variable, like GDP growth or the stock market. And the scriptures speak of a crashing from the hills. What is that speaking of? The stock market. Okay, it's going to be a crashing from the stock market. All right, there's going to be a crashing from these different like the scriptures say, these different gates, man. All right, these different strongholds, man, of this society. The banking system is going to crash. The payment system. The credit card systems are going to crash. All those things, man. But this society is going back and forth. And then it's making it seem as if, okay, well, it's bad right now and it's going to be good later. And then it'll get bad, but then it'll be good again. Oh, but it's bad right now, but it'll get good later. All right? There's going to be an ultimate crash, like the scriptures say. It says, and it says it right here. It says, in the opposite direction and then back again, creating an oscillatory effect. This is often visualized using the analogy of a seesaw. Let's see if there's some images on it. All right. Yeah, man. A crash from the hills. Economic seesaw. That's what this society is in. Back and forth until it finally crashes. So, Lord willing, this message was edifying. I'm going to give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harachakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last seconds of time. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.